Mochizuki Touya was well, we don't exactly know anything about Touya, other than his name before he accidentally dies from a lightning shock sent by God himself. God appears before him, shocked at how calm Touya is despite being dead at 15, and gives him an offer to be resurrected into a new magical world. Touya is asked to make a request before embarking on the journey to his new life. Deep down, I hope he wishes for a real-life Anya or a PS5. A rack full of $1 million in it would be fine. Or maybe some god-level power-up. That makes sense, yeah? So Touya makes the request, and his request is to carry his phone along with him to the new world. His phone? Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed how the brain of a 15-year-old works. So, of course, his request is granted and he is sent off to begin his new life. One perk of Touya's wish is that he is able to call God directly. Okay, that's cool. While Touya navigates the newly structured map on his device, a merchant sets his gaze on his unique clothing style and seeks to purchase it. Touya is taken into town by the merchant, and he figures the reason why the merchant was interested in his clothing was because they were living in medieval times. Touya gets some money from the merchants after selling his clothes and is directed to where he would get an inn. On his way, he runs into two girls, Els and Rizz, being bullied by their customers. It is revealed that God was kind enough to give Touya's abilities an extra boost to ensure his survival. He single-handedly beats up the bullies and gives the girls a gold coin in exchange for the item he smashed from the bullies. Els and Rizz, who are twins, thank Touya for saving them, and with gratitude, they point him toward the direction of the Silver Moon Inn, which was coincidentally the same inn they lived in. Touya settles in his dorm, and the next day, he goes job hunting with the twins. While they read articles on the board, the twins are perplexed to find out Touya cannot read anything in their language, nor does he have a weapon. After they fix him up with a sword and a guild membership card, they hunt down ferocious beasts and are paid for it. After the hunt, Touya asks the twins to teach him how to read and use magic as they can. The girls explain that one can use magic based on their aptitudes, and that can be tested using the spell stones. Touya tests his aptitude with the girls, and it is revealed that he can use the magic of all 6 elements, which has never been seen before. Just then, the girls wonder who Touya is. Of course he doesn't give away the fact he was a reincarnated soul who is in contact with God. Touya tests the last stone known for null magic. This stone is meant for spells out of the ordinary, like Elsa's fortification magic. When Touya uses the stone, it activates a portal which signals he possesses teleportation powers. Our boy doesn't miss the chance to stare at nice bottoms when the girls go halfway through the portal. I wouldn't miss that too. That afternoon, Touya uses his smartphone, which the girls describe as a strange existence, to search for the ingredients to prepare ice cream. In the end, they all enjoy the delicious dessert together. The trio are on another journey when they run into a strange girl with a strange fighting style Touya recognizes as the samurai way. After Touya and the girls assist her with the rough situation she was having, she introduces herself as Yae. Over lunch, she tells the trio she's heading to the royal capital to harness her skills. Els asks Yae to tag along since they were on the same route, but poor Touya is afraid of their food expenses might skyrocket because Yae apparently is a pretty little body with the appetite of an ogre. While they travel to the capital, Touya tries out new spells with a spellbook given to him by Rizz. When he does a spell that heightens his senses, he smells blood up ahead and alerts everyone. The group skillfully fights a lizard army till they capture the man responsible for summoning them and brings him to his knees. With Touya's new knowledge of spells, he saves Lady Sashi's butler from a life-threatening condition after he is shot with an arrow. The group is invited to escort Sashi to the royal capital as her guards. They get a grand welcome from Sashi's father in the palace, and over tea, he reveals that Sashi has been traveling to get a cure for her mother's blindness. Els, Rizz, and Yae urge Touya to use his null magic to restore Sashi's mother's sight. Touya is reluctant but does it anyway, and her sight is restored. To show his gratitude, Sashi's father gives the group 400 platinum, summing up to 40 million yen. Yae makes a decision to follow Touya on his journey, and the girls welcome her into the group and guild. The next day, while the group scouts the town for items, they run into little demi-human girl, Arma, who has been separated from her group. It's more like Touya's job isn't hunting monsters, but meeting helpless girls in every episode. So, with his map on his smartphone, he helps the kid return to her sister, and they can go shopping as planned. Touya's smartphone and powers enable him to introduce an addictive game of shogi to the inn, and when he visits Sashi's place, After their first and successful job hunting in the royal capital, Touya uses null magic to search for historic artifacts and is directed into a dungeon with unknown inscriptions. In an attempt to find the real treasure, they end up releasing a dangerous beetle monster. Just when the monster proves difficult to beat, Touya comes up with a genius plan that ends the monster for good. He gives his findings of the inscriptions to Sir Alfred, Sashi's dad, who believes they can unravel the mystery of the kingdom with it. Sir Alfred fully trusts Touya now, and in a carriage ride, he discloses to him that the king of the kingdom, his brother, has been poisoned. Touya makes it in time and heals the king with null magic. This brings smiles to everyone's faces, including the magic mage, Charlotte, and the little princess. Oh my goodness, not just one but two girls? It's official. I need Touya's Rizz game, cause what? Damn, I wouldn't mind if Charlotte looked at me like that. Arma's sister is suspected of being the culprit of the crime, and Touya is determined to prove her innocence. With his null magic, he proves the king's glass was laced with poison by Count Balsa. His act makes Princess Yumina admire him even more, and chooses him to become her prince and the next king of the kingdom. When they go on their next mission, Yumina uses summoning magic and enlists the help of wolves for a mission. Touya is impressed and asks Yumina to teach him. When Touya attempts a spell, he summons a heavenly beast, the White Monarch. The beast is impressed by Toya's powers he describes as divine. He forms a pact with Touya, disguises himself as a little pet, and is welcomed by the girls who find him adorable. Kohaku is excited to go on his first mission, but the girls are all gloomy. It is revealed they are going after slime monsters that melt and absorb clothes, a scene Touya always had slutty fantasies about. While they go in, they take directions from a book on what type of slimes they encounter. However, the girls slide into a puddle of green slimes that absorb their clothing halfway. Touya doesn't miss the opportunity to get awesome cleavage views. I wouldn't also. So the girls get changed into plain clothes. While they navigate the building, they run into bust slimes that mimic a woman's bust, the skeleton of the slime researcher, and slimes that duplicate themselves to be naked forms of Els, Linz, Yae, and Yumina. This temple should be called the Den of Perverts, cause what? Ultimately, they burn down the place, ridding it of all slimes. Kohaku requests to see the village, and he is taken on a tour of the city. While he walks with Yae, they find a lost child on the road. What is it with Touya and lost children? With the smartphone's help and his null magic, they return the child back to her mother. Yae tells Touya over lunch that she misses her brother and she sees her brother in him because they are exactly alike. Touya accidentally gets a glimpse of Lin's underwear and tries to act normal the next second she barges into his room. She requests his help to learn a new spell, and though it seemed difficult in the beginning, with Toya's help, she perfects it. Touya takes Els equipment shopping after damaging her armor during battle. On their way, Els is fascinated by a gown and a mannequin, and Touya urges her to get it for herself. While the girls compliment Els' new outfit, Yumina reads a letter inviting Touya to the royal palace to receive a knighthood title. Big moves, Touya. Really big moves. I mean, how lucky can one guy get? Turns out Touya is given a huge mansion and cash reward for his heroism instead of the knighthood. He honorably accepts it and invites the girls over to stay as a family. While Touya and Kohaku enjoy the garden outside, Els, Linz, and Yae wonder if they were truly welcome to a mansion given to him for his bride, Yumina. After Touya reassures them once again, they make preparations for a secret plan. Touya is introduced to the workers sent by the king to maintain the mansion when Sir Alfred and Sashi come to visit. Sir Alfred brings an issue regarding two kingdoms, Belfast and Misbed, that would require Touya to travel to the latter. He accepts this duty, of course, and sets course with his escorts. On the way, Touya and the girls play games in the carriage, and in the evening, they sit out for a campfire. One of the demi-human escorts senses footsteps on the way and alerts everyone. With Toya's null magic, he paralyzes the bandits that surround them, and they are apprehended. The girls and Touya notice Lion has feelings for Olga, Arma's big sister, and they put on a facade to help him get her nice gift. Before they continue the journey, Kohaku and Touya sense the sealed presence stalking them, but are unable to figure out who and why. Hours later, the journey is put to a halt when a dragon attacks a nearby village. While the dragon destroys everything within its path, the escorts save and evacuate the villagers. Touya and Linz ride on Kohaku, leading the dragon out of the village to an open ground. Now, the heroes are faced with their worst rival yet, a massively oversized dragon and a burning village. How does Touya take down this threat? Find out in part 2. That brings us to the end of today's recap. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and kindly comment below if you would like part 2 of this recap. Bye and thanks for watching. See you next time.